I covered up these sunflowers with my lovely fabric netting, and I did quite a hack job, as you can see, all the way down there. So it works really well, but of course it kind of makes it harder for the leaves to expand. So I decided I'm going to do something about this, and that's coming up next. Here's what I have now. I have all my sunflowers covered up with netting cloth. And this really does work great. And I had it available, and it's inexpensive, it's quick, etc. Oops, this one's kind of falling off. It's okay, no worries. We got that. So let me show you what I'm coming up with. It's not a new idea, but it's something I thought about using materials that I have. So I remembered that years ago, I bought some chicken wire to keep the skunks out of the yard, and I'd run that along the bottom of my picket fence, wooden fence, and I just left the rest of the roll hanging on the edge. So I decided, Bill, I'll go cut that off where it's been sitting for like 7 or 8 years. So I cut it off. Here it is, 2 feet. Still got debris in the bottom of it. That was the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. You know, I'd like to just keep it 2 feet tall, but I'm going to start out with what others have done and go 12 inches and make a 2-foot length. And by doing that, it'll be out away from the plane enough to where, even though it's not very tall, critters can't get to it. Oh, by the way, I have come to the conclusion with a lot of additional research that it's a rabbit eating this stuff, not the squirrel. So squirrels, you're off the hook. Rabbit, you're not my friend anymore. Next, I'll cut this and start to make some cages to protect my new sunflower babies. These are the sunflower plants I have left to get into the ground. I have 9 of those that are destined to grow to hopefully 10 to 12 feet. Those are on the right. And on the left, I have those that are destined to go to 4 to 6 feet. So I need to make cages for all those. Well, 13 plus 9, that's 22. So that's how many cages I'm going to end up making. Okay, first let me say that when you have a roll of used chicken wire and the roll gets down to being almost nothing, it's really hard to unroll it. But don't let that stop you. You just use your big muscles, no problem. So I'm going to cut off 2 feet, 24 inches. And I already determined that these little chicken wire loops, it's 10 loops. So if you don't have a measuring tape like this and you don't want to measure it, just count 10 loops. I think chicken wire is pretty standard stuff. If it's ballpark a couple feet, I think that's going to be okay. So 10 loops. 10 loops is about here. I could use my wire cutters, but I've got these tin snips. I don't know which one's better. I probably should do an evaluation, but I'm not. I'm going to just start cutting this, and I'm not going to make you watch while I do all this, and I don't know how to make myself go in fast forward. So when I'm done cutting this, I will show you what I have. And also you may recall that this is 2 feet tall, and there's conveniently, I don't know if you can see it, there's a piece of wire that kind of joins 12 feet, 12 inches and 12 inches, and that wire runs right here. So I already know where I need to make my cut, right along that line. Success! I have cut my very first 12-inch by 24-inch section of chicken wire. So I'm going to connect it. There are pieces, little stubs, pieces of wire sticking out at the end. So I'm just going to bend over one at the very top just to get it started, and I'm going to bend one over in the middle. You see, I'm not going to bend over every single wire stub that sticks out because my plan is to disassemble these for winter and lay them flat because they'll store a lot better for next year if I lay them flat. So I'm only connecting it in 3 spots. I don't believe a rabbit can get through that opening. So I have it connected. Now I have, see, I have a nice circle that I will put around my sunflowers very shortly. I'm now going to remove the lovely netting protector that I made. Comes off pretty easily from this little guy. I only tied it at the top and the bottom. And I'm going to put my very first chicken wire protector on this sunflower right here. Okay, I guess I wound it around. There you go. So here we go. I'm going to take this guy, slipping right over this sunflower baby. Now, I use landscape anchors, landscape staples. They're pretty readily available. These are heavy duty staples. I don't just want to sit this down in the ground and pile up mulch around it or anything, because not everything I do is going to be staked, and I don't want it to move around and bump against the sunflower. So I'm just going to put these staples down to the ground. I bought this overkill 4-pound mini sledge. That way, if you're pounding it down and you encounter some obstacle, you can show them who's boss. Just go whap like that. This guy's in place. Now, what I don't know is, don't know this yet, is this tall enough to protect the plant from a rabbit? Because down at the other end, the part that was eaten off was 12 inches up. I'm going to go measure that, because maybe I need to be making a 24-inch tall cage. But the only way to know what the rabbit's capable of doing is to test it. So I may just leave it as it is for right now and see what happens. I decided to come down and visit my last fatality, most recent fatality, sunflower. And this is the stick that's left. Coming up off the ground, the rabbit came up. Oh, crap. That's 12 inches. And look at this. If I had the first part he was nibbling on, that's 16 inches. You know what? My next cages I'm going to make are going to be a full 24 inches, so I won't be cutting it in half, but I'm going to use more chicken wire. I have to go get more chicken wire anyway, so I now know what the rabbit is capable of, and the cage I already installed may not be quite tall enough. My new sunflower replacement is in the ground, freshly watered in, with a nice protective cage, and I expect him to catch up and grow to a height of 10 feet tall. Thanks for following me as I journey through my particular current crisis with sunflowers and whatever's destroying them. I'm learning a lot, and I hope you are too. Be sure to like this video if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time, maybe even as early as tomorrow. Take care.